before you got with Dre, wasn't Puffy interested in working with you also?
Yeah, Puff. I was running around with Puff for a minute, but we was just partying, man. Puff liked to party.
I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years, damn near. And this nigga Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, yo, I fuck with you.
So just when we thought this mess with Diddy bending other men over couldn't get no worse, the internet was sent into a friend once again after the game got exposed for being one of Diddy's boy toys. It turns out Diddy has been his secret sugar daddy for over a decade now, and in return for everything Diddy does for him, he allegedly bends over and allows Diddy to have his way with him whenever he likes. And get this right, after all of this was revealed, Rick Ross also stepped into the chat and clowned the game for allowing Diddy to play with him like that. What makes this even more disturbing is that Rick was one of the first people to call Diddy out on saying men and making them bend over for opportunities in Hollywood. So the fact that he's now clowning the game makes people think he knew about the game and Diddy's relationship for a very long time, but he just kept it hush-hush until everybody else caught on. At this point, the entire industry needs a factory reset, because every one of them has been in on it the whole time now. For those of y'all who don't know, the game and Rick Ross have been going at it for a few days now after the game released diss track Freeway's Revenge, taking shots at Rick unprovoked. A lot of people thought he initially released this diss track to show his support for Drake, since Rick Ross is one of the people who have been on Drake's neck during this whole feud. But that excuse didn't make sense to people, because Rick has never said anything shady about the game, like not even once. If this was really about Drake, it would make sense for him to go after Kendrick, not Rick Ross. In the disc song Game accused Rick of being on OIC and receiving golden showers from his baby mama Tia Kim. He rapped, "You 2 lemon pepper wings from a heart attack. Academics, get this Ninja OIC starter pack. High set, hit the room, turn that stream on." Ask button about his brief encounter with King Kong. This ain't the Kendrick beef. Drake sings songs, shots ring out, the neighbor better have his ring on. He popping pills, they starting to mess with his brain. Seizures off the lean Balenciaga shorts, got the poopy stains. Your baby mama told me you like to get peed on. Rick Ross, on the other hand, did not take this diss track seriously at all, and he trolled the game in a series of videos he posted to his IG.
You niggas don't want to eat? You niggas don't want to eat? Must not. Starving. You niggas starving.
At one point, Rick Ross even asked the game to join him in an ice skating competition. That's how unserious he was about this whole thing.
In 30 days, we're going to have a skating challenge. I'm going to challenge any of you, man. Mayweather, Chris Brown, what's up? Look at that, look at that.
This really enraged the game even more, so he took to his IG to write a 5,000-word essay about how Rick is apparently scared of him, apart from people being real confused and trying to understand why the game was channeling all this energy into dissing Rick. Some people also speculated that the real reason why Rick Ross doesn't respect the game enough to respond properly is because he saw the game allegedly bending over for Diddy, so he knows game ain't nothing like the gangster he trying so hard to look like. You see, Rick Ross Diddy and the game actually worked on a collaboration before, back in 2014, called Don't Who. After this collaboration, both Rick Ross and the game were on to have a close relationship with Diddy, but it was 2 different kind of relationships. Rick Ross was strictly Diddy's friend, and they were seen hanging out a lot, but the game, on the other hand, became more like Diddy's sugar baby. He practically took care of him and flew him out to foreign countries. Diddy was taking him on shopping spree and bringing him along to his infamous freak-off parties. In fact, we wouldn't have known about any of this if the game himself didn't spill the tea during his 2022 sit-down interview on Drink Champs. Apparently, Diddy came knocking on his door with the offer to team up on an album. However, for nearly 2 years, all they did was jump from one exotic location to the next, living it up in style. And get this, Diddy was not holding back on the gifts either. He was showering game with all sorts of lavish goodies like fancy watches and layout chain.
I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years, damn near. And this Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, yo, I fuck with your demo, that shit. You know, bad boy, but hey, Playboy, hey, here go a watch, Playboy, here go a chain, Playboy. I'm like, yo, we ever gonna rap? Like, nah,
I was doing it for 2 years.
Yo, but the jet leaves at 5. We going to Miami, Playboy. We going to, you know what I'm saying? We going to New York. We in ATL this weekend, Playboy. Pop out. And I was going everywhere with Diddy.
And then earlier this year, Game swung by Vlad TV for another chat right after all those crazy allegations about Diddy started making their rounds. And once again, he brought up that whole saga about spending 2 years with Diddy Except this time he revealed that instead of working on music like they originally planned, he and Diddy just partied for 2 whole years. And where were they doing all this partying, you might ask? Atlanta of all places. Before you got with Drew, wasn't Puffy interested in working with you also? Yeah, Puff, I was running around with Puff for a minute, but we was just partying, man. Puff like the party, so that's basically all we did. I think the few times I was running around with Mac and Puff, we just did a bunch of partying. We might have went to the studio once or twice, but I don't think I didn't get to record nothing. I was just, okay. But I mean, Puffy was a huge deal back then, still a huge deal. But he's not doing music anymore is what I'm saying. Back then, Bad Boy was on fire. And he's running around with you, Puffy's a busy guy. I was running around with him. Yeah, you were running around with him. Was he talking about signing you or what exactly happened? And Pew Puff, was he wanted to sign me? He just, he was moving around like he had the restaurant Justin's in Atlanta. So we was in and out of that, a lot of parties in Atlanta, with him and Avi. And Big Wolf, and Fab and GUI was just, Fab was already on Jizz was coming coming of age. But we just party, man, baby. Once this started going viral, people could not help but wonder if the game was also getting his cheeks sleeved by Diddy. Cause if you all remember, 50 Cent also put Diddy on blast some years ago for trying to make him his boy toy after Diddy offered to take him shopping. FI said he was confused at the time cause this is the kind of offer that most men would usually make to women that they're romantically interested in, not another man who's supposed to be a work buddy. FI and Diddy weren't even friends like that to begin with, so the offer was hella weird. And FOE immediately knew what Diddy was trying to do. The PO was like, yeah, like first he was imping him to get, then he was like, yo, so yo, we going to get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out, got kick telling me we got to kick in this. He like, yo, why don't we go shopping? Or like I paid for it. And I was like, did this just say, but that's not all, y'all, because another interview that the game had with Vlad TV shortly after this collaboration with Diddy and Rick Ross also went viral. He revealed even more interesting things in that interview. When he was asked if he has ever worked with any DL rappers, he actually said yes, and even went on to talk about how some of these rappers claim to like women, but are actually clapping men unprotected and spread STDs. Do you think that you worked with a gay rapper? Yeah, man, and in gay not being just full out gay, but hiding and trying to pretend like he, loves girls and live the rap lifestyle. But really he's a man fan. Oh, that in the closet is real scary, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get into, get into the seriousness of it. And it's just not fair to, other people. And then that __ spreads because that girl that you might be fooling might leave you and go find another dude who ain't gay, give him the disease, and he go cheats on her. Now when it comes to Rick Ross knowing about Diddy clap in the game, he didn't explicitly mention the game's name, but he revealed that in his 2009 song Magnificent that Diddy Total was a boy group that was under Diddy's record label Bad Boy Entertainment. He rapped, I made a transition from the thieves to the biggest executive DJs ever seen. The game never changed, money still a focal. But it's time to the game like Puffy did Total. This whole situation is really messed up, and it really shows you the kinds of things that these rappers are doing to each other in the industry. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said 50 turned down the shopping spree, and obviously the game did not. We all know what comes with those shopping spree. Another person said, do you all honestly believe game wasn't compromised by the diddler? These men get victimized and begin to tattoo their entire bodies to mask the shame. Look at Bieber and the others. Take from that what you will, but now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about the game being Diddy's boy toy? And how do y'all feel about Rick Ross clowning him for it? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.